once again, do another video because some questions were raised about reward systems, as mentioned in the Bible. It's very clear that in heaven there are going to be people there that have done virtually nothing at all whatsoever through the Holy Spirit to actually earn any rewards. And they're going to get by, with flames coming off their backsides. There are going to be other people that have absolutely lavish rewards. There are going to be people there that have their rewards taken from them and given to someone else. The one that had one reward was taken, had that one reward taken and given to someone who had 10 rewards. Now, what I'm saying is, let's say we have a total of possible 100 points as rewards. And through your life, you've done 50 points worth of good works through the Holy Spirit. You're still missing that last 50 rewards as a possible out of 100 points. And the Bible is very clear that there are books being kept on this. I'm not talking about salvation. And, I've seen the good side, I've seen the poor side. I was making $18-20 an hour for many years. And I could pay all of my bills with one paycheck, have $100 left over, and then the very next paycheck make another $1,100 to $1,200 that I could do with whatever I wanted for the month. And yes, I did absolutely nothing to help spread the gospel, leave preparations for those that are left behind. I squandered that money, and I can guarantee you, if I had stayed in that state when I had plenty and made it to the rapture, I would be one of those people, like the old World War II fireplane spiraling out of control with the black smoke. That would be me, because I would be just getting into heaven on my belief upon Christ alone, and that would be it. Now, since that time, since God has taken me to the proverbial woodshed, on unemployment, I did more than I could have ever dreamed of doing in getting the gospel out, preparing the after rapture package, if you've seen my videos. When I had the most in my life, I did absolutely nothing. And now that I have the least in my life, I'm doing everything in my power. So the time frame where I'm doing the most is when I have the least. And I'm going to be rewarded for that. The Holy Spirit's prompting me to do these things, and I'm doing them. Now, I'm not, in that last video when the questions were brought up, I'm not saying that people are bad or evil. I'm just saying that even when you're least, when you have your least, you can still do something. There are still possible 100 points to be earned. Paul's in the race. He's saying if you're in the race, run it to win. Don't get up the starting blocks. The starter's pistol goes off, and then you just stand up, and then you sit down. Do something with it. I mean, I pointed out the fact that you can go to the dollar store and pick up a Bible, a King James Version Bible, for $1. And I'm not saying that if you don't do the after rapture packets themselves, that you're going to lose rewards. But I am saying that as a Christian, realizing that the time frame we are in, by being pre-tribulation believers, we know it's coming. So we should be thinking strategically, knowing that during the tribulation, Daniel's 70th week, the Bibles are going to be outlawed. We know that. So if you have a couple hundred of those things, and I didn't just do that overnight. I've been steadily putting away these Bibles. I go buy them ones and twos. Sometimes, even once I bought a case of 22, because I had a little extra money. It can be done. It doesn't cost very much to get a package of 25 of those big manila envelopes and print out the end times timeline and put them together. It takes very little money to do it. And I wished when I had all that good money coming in, that I have several thousand books put away. Like say I prepaid a storage shed for 5 years and put 5,000 Bibles with after rapture packets in there. I could have literally done that, and I didn't. So, it's not like I'm going to be seeing huge amounts of rewards because I squandered that time, and I'm sure I'm going to lose something for that. I'm not going to be one of those Christians up there that has 100 points. I'm going to get some rewards. I'm not going to be the guy that sat down at the starting line after the starter's pistol went off. But what I'm saying is there is no excuse. There really isn't. $1 for a Bible. Talk the gospel to someone. Because, Bill the Sheepdog is right. There are many aspects to what you can do for rewards. You can simply just talk the gospel and not give up, and do so to, say, 20,000 people over a lifetime. And probably a lot more if you just make a couple videos. And then you push those videos. There's so much that we can do. You can actually feed someone and tell them the gospel. This is how my God would have me treat my fellow neighbor with love. If they're in a time of need and you have something, give. I've been in a time of need for a long time, and I have received, as most of you know. And it's funny, when I'm down and out, being spanked by God, that's when I got off my proverbial backside and actually started doing stuff, even with what little I have. So I'll be one of those people up there that didn't get that crown by my efforts, but was by working through the Holy Spirit. It's all due to Christ. That's why we're going to be casting our crowns at Christ's feet, because He enabled us through the gospel to work with the Spirit. And it's just up to you, the individual, what you want to do. Now, I've taken several different aspects of this, knowing, working towards the prize. I can safely say, in all confidence, that just based upon one of my videos, and on one of those dark, evil sites I've visited and left some blogs about the end times, that I have reached with the gospel at least 20,000 people. And I'm not saying that to brag, because I've already lost everything I've ever had. This video camera came from Proclaim the Word. Mark, my brother, he gave me that camera because I had to sell my other one to pay rent. He's going to have his blessings for doing that act. There's so many different ways that you can do things through the Spirit that you will gain rewards. And yet, but there are those people out there that will just say, starting gun went off, the races are off, I'm just going to sit down, I'm saved. And you are going to have the position you have in heaven based upon what you do through the Spirit in this earth. If the Spirit says, this neighborhood here could really use 200 after rapture packets with Bibles in that end time, with instructions to say, take one of these Bibles for every 5 people, and here's the end time writings, study this as a group. You could easily touch 5,000 people with 200 books. If the Spirit's saying do that, then do that. If you are, say, working with a charity feeding someone, as long as you're working with a charity that's not involved with a new emergent church, that is the gospel, is the feeding of people. Don't get yourself involved with that. But I'm not saying you're going to lose everything if you don't do the after rapture packets. I'm saying that's an avenue where you can reach for the 100 points, for the reward system. I don't think I will get to the 100 points. But, in this age, imagine Paul walking into the city of Corinth, and by just word of mouth, the amount of people he touched with the gospel. Do you realize that in this time frame, I can reach more people with that same gospel just by using that video camera that Proclaim His Word gave to me so that I could do this? Do you think He's going to have blessings for giving that camera to me, allowing me to do through the Spirit what I know I'm supposed to do? You bet. My sister is going to receive many rewards for taking me in, putting a roof over my head, buying me clothes, paying for food. Many forms of doing this. I just know that even when you have the least, you can still put together a single, one after rapture packet with a printed writing about something, like the end time timeline on Rapture Ready. It's possible. You can do anything through the Spirit. I mean, I kick myself knowing that I had every month $1,200 to $1,300 that I could have went out and bought 600 Bibles per paycheck with all the printing stuff that I would need to make after rapture packets every month, 600 of them every month. I could have done that. And what did I do? I squandered it away. So I can guarantee you I'm going to be losing rewards as compared to what I should have done way back when. So I'm not all high and mighty. I'm just a sinner saved by grace. And I'm not accusing people. I'm not slapping people upside their heads. I'm doing what the Spirit says. Telling people, do what you can do with what little time we have. Shout the gospel from the rooftops. Romans chapter 10 verses 9 and 10. 1 Corinthians chapter 15 verses 1 through 4. And make after rapture packets. You can make 5 of them in one paycheck. If you have a paycheck. I did it with no paychecks at all. And unemployment completely empty. Because the Spirit made it possible. That's why we're going to cast our crowns to Christ. The Spirit will make it possible. And I'm exhorting you. Extorting you? Not extorting. Exhorting. I don't know what the word is now. I'm just giving you encouragement saying you can do the same. Alright, I hope that helps. Out of a possible 100, you can get that 100. If that is a goal that God said you can reach, then that means we all can reach it. And I know we're all going to fall short, but there's going to be a lot of people that are going to be like 75s and 80s, you know, that have actually lived their lives not for themselves and worked through the Spirit, you know, and I know I could have done it for years making the amount of money that I was making. So I'm not trying to say I'm better than anyone else by any means. I had the opportunity to really do some good. I mean, $1,300 every month to myself that I could do what I wanted with. And what I do? Wasted it. Alright, bye.